What up, Ski, and welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth, giving out raw reactions and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You'll hear the people and the noises, but that's the point, because without the people, what is the point? Embracing vibrations. First and foremost, shout out to my lady Nicole, my parents, my best friends, and a few others I consider to support me no matter what. If you couldn't tell, my face looks fucking stupid. Ballooned up, had a bad reaction to some facial cleanser. I don't want to get into the story. If you know me, you can ask me, but I wasn't going to do a show this week, and I really didn't feel like I wanted to do because I just was so uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, I got to get it done. So I'm going to give you guys legit raw reactions, and I'm going to talk about what I need to talk about, and that's it. Eagles, Bears, let's go Birds. They won the game, but if you know weather and if you know how things work, this is a game where you need to just be sound. Jalen starts out with a really bad fucking turnover, and the Bears with Justin Fields knew that they could run the ball, and they did such. Honestly, I feel like if it was a different situation where the Bears had some receivers or they had some playmakers, they could have beat the Eagles in this game, but they did not. Jalen with another fucking interception. It was a weird turnover game. Justin Fields didn't after the first one, he didn't really show like, hey, I'm trying to win this game. Listen, 3-degree wind chill. I don't want to play either. I don't want to be out there. Why would you? They did what they needed to do, and then in the second half, it was like punt, fumble. Miles doesn't fumble, but he did fumble. They did what they needed to do to win this game. Obviously, the biggest takeaway from this is that Jalen got hurt. That's not a pun. I'm not even doing that on purpose. He got hurt, and then he came back out and just threw for 193 yards. He's a gamer. They got the job done. It all depends on whether Gardner Minshew can come out this week, and show that, hey, we just have a really good fucking team. Justin Fields is the answer for the Bears. It's just a matter of whether the GM could put things around him. He was making plays even against pristine D-line, knowing that they were going to run the ball, and he still did it. Got it done. Colts Vikings, one of the greatest games I've ever seen. So the Colts go up, and then the Colts go up, and then they stop them, and then the Colts go up, and then the Colts go up, and then they stop them, and then they stop them again, and the Colts go up. Now you're at 33-0. At this point, you're like, oh yeah, we got the game in the bag. Yeah, there was a hole in that fucking bag. I feel so bad, and I don't, but I do, for the fact that they gave up the largest comeback in NFL, not NFL playoffs, no, NFL history ever. And Matt Ryan was a part of both of those. It hurt his Hall of Fame discussion, but you had 12 drives. 12 drives to just get a point. I'm sorry, not a point, but 3 points to make sure, like, okay, we got this in the bag. No. The Vikings came back, and it was a fire game to watch. If you didn't watch it, watch it. It's one of those games where you're like, we don't give up. I don't give a shit. We're down 33-0. Who cares? We can win this game, and they did. Matt Ryan got benched for Nick Foles this week. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just saying it is what it is. But the Vikings are holding on strong, trying to get a higher seed in the playoffs, and good on you. It is what it is. The Colts, you have to understand that you hired a person who was never fucking coached in the league ever. You're going to get these results. This is what happens. They benched Matt Ryan and then Nick Foles is in, so we'll see. Rams-Packers, again, not a game. There was a lot of games that just weren't entertaining, and this is one of them. I mean, Aaron Rodgers threw a very early pick after they were up, but were you worried about Baker Mayfield? I wouldn't be. Man had 111 yards in the entire game. He did have a nice drive at the end of the game, which is cool. That's what you're supposed to do, and he had film. But you weren't going to win this game. And I feel like they knew that. They literally just gave away money to Baker Mayfield. Like, hey, can you come here and do exactly what our backups could do? Waste of money. The Packers are on a run. A lot of people were saying, like, hey, like, you know, maybe it's not going to happen. They win games because Aaron Rodgers just wakes up, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't give a shit about this team. He really doesn't. The whole thing about them talking about how he has these signals, but he doesn't write them down, and he's just hoping that his receivers can pick it up. That's not how this thing works. You have to give them the signals. If they have to do it on the fly, you're going to lose. The pick that he threw it right over his head. The guy broke off the route thinking that he was going to whatever. Either way, Packers won. Giants Commanders. Even though the score was low, it was a pretty entertaining game. The Giants went up, it was like 14-3. They were just pounding a rock. But Tyler Heineke came out and did what Tyler Heineke does at the end of the game. And then people keep talking about, so listen, and I've, you know, as a receiver, I understand what that means. You point to the referee. He says, hey, yeah, move up. Bet. You look to your left and never ask again, hey, I'm in the... And he's like, yeah, you didn't do what I said to do. I don't want to hear any excuses from them. If he had just literally pointed and said, hey, am I good? And he told him to, like, press up again, they'd be fine. At the end of the game, they lost it. It was 20-12. That's a shitty-ass game. It was a shitty game. The Commanders gave their chance away to, you know, have an opportunity to be the second team in NFC East to be in the playoffs. That's your fault. I don't know what to say. The Giants, I don't know if they can rely on this game where you just run, because at the end of the day, some passes are going to need to be made. I don't know what they're going to be, but some passes are going to need to be made. I don't know if Daniel Jones can do it. I can see that you've been relying on your run. Somebody's going to expose you, and I get it. Bengals, Bucks, Tommy B, the GOAT, came out 17-3, just wheeling and dealing, and then the third quarter came, and it was interception, punt, fumble, punt, interception. You're not going to get it done. I feel like Tom wants to go somewhere else. I have no idea. The Bucks are just a dumpster fire at this point. But also, when you know that your fucking division is just shitty, you know you can beat the Saints. You know you can beat the Panthers. You know you can beat them all. It was a bad game for them, and they still have a chance to just clinch and have a home field game. And if things go right, it will be against the Cowboys, which is ridiculous. The Bengals did what they were supposed to do. They started off slow. Joe Cool Burrow never was down, never was out. And they gave the torch to Joe Burrow, and he lived up to it, beating the GOAT. Crazy. The biggest takeaway from this game is that the Bucks don't have any strengths. The Bengals do, where it's like we come out in the second half and we believe in Joe. We believe in the weapons he got. and it is what it is. Titans, Chargers. Chargers this game. Titans were up early. I'm hearing that Tannehill is out for the year, which sucks, but that's beyond the point. The Chargers, they both were keeping themselves in the game. It was like 3-3, and it was 7-7 going into the fourth quarter, and then Justin Herbert was like, fuck it, let me throw some good passes, and then the missed field goal. This whole week was a lot of just like nothingness games where it was just based on anything. You could have gotten a block punt, you could have missed a kick, and this is one of those games. I don't have much to say. I really don't. Raiders Patriots, I do have much to say about this. The Patriots don't have an offense, and yet again they get to the end of the game. Patriots driving. They got a couple field goals, some turnovers. They're up, and then the Raiders, Derek Carr, I have no idea how he did it, but he let his team down twice to tie the game. And then they run the screen. Now, I don't think that they knew. One of those players didn't know that they were tied. It was 24-24. You lateral it, and then this man throws the ball 20 yards behind him. You think that Mac Jones is going to run for 60 yards for a touchdown? Instead of just running out of bounds and then calling it a day and then having an opportunity to win in overtime? Awful. Go back and watch it. Again, a lot of these games were just based on one play, and this was... definitely one of them. Sorry about that. Yeah, so then we get the Cardinals and Broncos. No Mr. Limited. And the Cardinals just, I mean, without Kyler Murray, you're not going to get anything better than that. You're just not. The Broncos scored like 3 times in a row. The Cardinals are just sputtering. They don't have the playmakers. Like, yeah, you do have Deontay, but if you don't have Kyler throwing to him and you don't have the ability to run, it's just not going to happen. The Broncos were very efficient with ripping out, and that's weird. Again, another game that just didn't make any sense, and who cared to watch it? It was just on TV, and if you like football, you like football. You watched it. Kyler is out for the year, and I respect it because I'm glad that he got his money. It's those situations where, like, hey, anything can happen. I just want to get paid. Chiefs Texans. The Texans almost jumped on them, just the same way that they did almost on the Cowboys, where they were up. I think it was like 21-16. They went back to fourth. They went back and forth. That was stupid. They went back and forth, and then they were up 10-7. And you're wondering, hey, is the Chiefs' defense is trash, but you also have Patty M's. So they come up. They do what they need to do, and there was no way that Patty M's was going to let them lose this game. Although, going into overtime against the worst team, they have one win in a tie going into overtime. When they talk about the MVP, MVPs don't let that happen. MVPs don't let you go into overtime against the worst team in the league. But they got it done. Chiefs win. Jets Lions, I've been talking about it all year. It wasn't an offensive onslaught, but the Lions made sure that they weren't going to get outscored. There were a lot of missed kicks. They could have lost a lot of this game, but Zach Wilson is just not worthy of a second pick in the NFL. He makes so many mistakes. He's afraid to throw it downfield. I knew E.J. Moore, when he left, he was like, thank the fucking Lords. And again, another game where it just was back and forth, punts, fumbles, and it is what it is. Steelers Panthers. Again, another game. If you watch football, this is how it gets. Especially when it's teams that don't have anything to play for, they're just playing for pride. Steelers Panthers. Sam Darnold tried his best to make sure that he was better than Baker Mayfield, which he is. And the Steelers were like, we're just going to run you to death. They had like 3 multiple 15-yard plays where it eventually ended in points. If you can't score, just run the ball, run the clock, get your 3, and get it out of here. And that's exactly what they did. Falcons Saints. This division is literally trying to give the fucking Buccaneers the division. The Saints, if you just win, you're good. Falcons, if you win, you're good. No, they challenge each other. They benched Marcus Mariota with the Falcons, and Desmond Ridder just looked like shit. He had 141 yards. I'm pretty sure he had like 81 yards going into the fourth quarter. That's not how you get it done. The Saints were just like, we're just going to score as much as we can and just hold on to the ball. A win is a win. Ravens, Browns. If the Ravens somehow get into the playoffs without Lamar, that's a waste of a fucking season. They looked awful. The Browns' run game is fire. And if you don't have Lamar as the Ravens, you have no chance. Taylor Huntley looked just lost. He'll get the snap, and then he'll run for a second, and then he'll panic and just run. Instead of just being like, oh, somebody's open, and I know that I've seen the tape, somebody's open. Browns just said, we'll take what we give you. But then again, they're running with Deshaun Watson, who looks, it's wild that he looks so lost. The Ravens won, and if they have any fucking chance of winning, they need Lamar back. Niners Seahawks, another game where it was just like, why am I watching this? Niners run game, it just disgusting. Seahawks, I said it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Gino hit his spot, and it was just like, yeah, this is who I am. It's just not gonna work. Niners up with us as in the Eagles, in terms of nobody can beat us. If we got the best, if we have our starters on the field, nobody's gonna beat us. There were no real highlights in this game. The Niners went up. The Seahawks tried to come back, resilient as well, but there was no competition in this game. Random Sixers on a 5-game winning streak, 10-8 76ers, and LFC's back on Monday. My biggest takeaway from today is it's okay to It's okay to ask for help, no matter what it is. It's okay. It really is. I'm starting to learn that, even at the age that I am. If you need it, ask for it. It's okay. It sucks when you go so long not realizing that a little bit will go a long way. So, big ups to the first state. Stay focused and be great. Take a sip. Much love from the kid. Enjoy your day. Enjoy life. Stay chill. It's almost time to get them holidays underway. For those who can, I hope you can spend it with your friends and your family, and just enjoy, the rest of the year. BWBIV.com. Love you guys.